Who Dey?
Who Dat? No pun intended.
That's not. You didn't even. There wasn't even a pun in there.
I know. That's why there was no pun intended, because there was no pun to be intended for.
Okay. Well. Anyway, Mikey just informed me before this that Rondale Moore was found dead with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. So that just happened. That's wild.
25 years old.
I don't know what he was going through, and I'm not trying to speculate until the facts come out. But like that's rough, man. That's rough, man. He looked like he had a bright NFL future. Never really kind of worked out for him, and then he ended up playing with Desmond Ridder, and that didn't help out either. So
I wanted the Saints to draft him back in 2021.
I thought he was. I had him. I think I had him pegged as like I thought he was going to be the best, maybe not the most talented, but the most productive wide receiver in that draft class. I thought he would be.
I remember when he was coming out and the Saints drafted Peyton Turner and said, I'm like, bro, why did you draft Peyton Turner? We could have had Rondale Moore. So I did a lot of studying on him. So.
Yeah. I don't know if I did a lot of studying on him, but I did some, and I thought he was going to be pretty good.
Yeah, man.
Kentucky football legend there. High school.
Wasn't
football.
He oh.
Yeah, high school football in Kentucky.
Oh, good for him.
All right. Well, anyway, rest in peace to Rondale Moore. But we are here to talk about free agents because it is the off season. We already did our first mock draft of the off season, and before we get to the draft, these teams are going to have to look into what they're going to do in free agency, because the fact of the matter is when it comes to building your team in the offseason, putting pieces together, the draft is about what you're doing in like your long-term plan. Because it's not to say that rookies don't make an impact. Plenty of rookies do make an impact, but you can't go into the draft expecting these guys to be contributing right away. Maybe some of them will, and that's great, but you can't expect that. So if you're going to go get pieces for right now, you got to go get it in free agency. So
yeah,
that's how the Bengals, oddly enough, for the reputation the Bengals have with free agency, that's how the Bengals built that Super Bowl team a few years ago. Is they really knocked it out of the park on some free agency signings like DJ Reader, Von Bell, Chidobe Awuzie, guys like that. Notice I'm talking about all defensive guys here who are no longer with the team. Although you could argue all of those guys deserve to not be with it. Cheeto had a pretty decent year with Baltimore this past season, but overall Cheeto has not been the Bengals version of Cheeto since he left Cincinnati, and our secondary has been garbage without him, but it probably would have not been very good with him either. So the Bengals did a good job bringing in some talent once upon a time, but they didn't do a very good job of replacing that talent.
Yeah, I know the Saints, we were in, well, a lot of people say we were in salary cap hell the last 5 years, but hey, one, we're out of that now, and two, I mean, the Saints still found a way to sign some guys for our usually 7 to 9 win teams. So you know what? At least, we signed. There was this one year where we signed Tyrann Mathieu, Jarvis Landry. I'm pretty sure we signed Marcus May that year as well. Like the Saints signed a lot of guys, and we were in salary cap hell. So it was like that's when I started thinking, is the salary cap even real?
So, as far as upcoming free agents, the top 5 in terms of like if you go to Spotrac and they estimate what everybody's going to get paid, and they call it the estimated market value. And if you rank all the upcoming free agents by that. Now, not all these guys are. Some of these guys will probably be signed by their own team. But if you just go through and you rank the top 5 guys based on upcoming expected contract value, Daniel Jones is apparently the best available free agent. Now that has probably something to do with quarterback and the fact that he revived his career a little bit with the Colts. But I would imagine the Colts are probably going to re-sign him. But we never know. We'll see. But Daniel Jones ranked number 1 of the upcoming draft class, at least as far as projected value of his contract. George Pickens is ranked as the number 2 guy. My old pal and very likely to no longer be a Cincinnati Bengal, Trey Hendrickson, is ranked number 3, which is wild because he's by far and away without it's not even close that he is the way ahead the oldest guy on this list. This guy is going to be 32 before the end of next season, which I'm not using as a criticism. I'm saying that should show you how good Trey Hendrickson is, because he's so much older than all the other guys on this list, and he's still number 3 projected in the NFL for his upcoming contract. Juwan Jennings from San Francisco is ranked number 4, and Rasheed Walker, the left tackle out of Green Bay, is projected number 5. And then it's Alec Pierce, Devin Lloyd, David Edwards, Odafe Owe, Khalil Mack, and then the list goes on from there. But Mikey, as far as the Saints go, what positions you think are the most important for the Saints to address, and which ones would you want to see them specifically target in free agency?
Well, for the Saints, I have mainly 3. The first one I think has to be offensive guard. Our offensive line wasn't the greatest, but I think everybody that was watching could tell you Cesar Ruiz and Dylan Redunds as a 1-2 punch at guard was not it, fam. And I would love them to sign a guy like David Edwards, who's coming from Buffalo. And the good thing about it is I don't know how much teams are looking for guard play, but David Edwards would be a great addition, mainly him. And my second position would probably be cornerback, mainly because we don't know if Alontae Taylor is going to be back with the team.
He's going to be a Bengal.
Yeah, okay. Well, we don't know if Alontae Taylor is going to be back, so losing him, we need mainly another nickel guy or a guy that can play in the slot. So I just think adding a corner could be better. And last one is probably wide receiver or running back. So there's really 5 positions things to go with, but wide receiver or running back. If you can get both, then great. But wide receiver or running back, definitely. Kamara at the running back position. I know this running back class is loaded this year, so I wouldn't be mad if they sign a Kenneth Walker or Travis Etienne, Breece Hall, Rico Dowdle even could be interesting. But yeah, and receiver, maybe a Juwan Jennings to play alongside Olave. I wouldn't go after Tyreek Hill personally, but a young I want a Romeo Dobbs, like a young receiver that could develop for years and years and years, and then draft maybe another receiver to develop for years and years and years. So 5 years down the line, Saints might have one of the best receiver rooms if you develop them correctly. So those are the positions I would target for the Saints if I was Mickey Loomis.
Fair enough. So for the Bengals, I think this offseason you got your offense, man. Your offense is there. It'd be nice if the quarterback was healthy, but the offense is there. With the offense, all the important guys, they're locked up. The offensive line seems to be in a pretty stable position, which is an immaculate thing to say considering the position the offensive line has been through most of Joe Burrow's career. But the offensive line, I mean, maybe you can, if you got some room to work, maybe you bring in a guard or I would go tackle in the draft because you're hoping to replace a tackle maybe in a year or two, but not right away. You could potentially go get some guard help right away. I wouldn't worry about center right away. That's another position I would maybe target more toward the draft. But if you want, you could maybe go looking at center. But you don't need to go get wide receivers necessarily. Not big name wide receivers anyway. You don't need to go get a running back. Maybe you could go get like a backup run. Well, even then you got Samaje Perine. He's fine. So you don't need running back. You don't need quarterback. What you need to do is you need to re-sign Joe Flacco. And it sounds like they want to. And it sounds like Flacco is probably up to be the Joe Burrow's backup, like more like throughout next year. I don't really know fully what's going on with that situation. And I know Joe Flacco likes to think that he's a starting quarterback. I don't think he is anymore, but he's a really, really good spot starter. And Cincinnati is not the place where he's going to get any chance to start unless Joe Burrow gets hurt again, which if he does, then we're in chaos. We're already in chaos, but the amount of chaos will be if Joe Burrow gets hurt next year too. Good Lord. Just hit the nuclear button right now. I don't even know how to approach that. But anyway, to bring things back a little bit, offensively, I don't think we need to worry too much as far as free agency goes. Maybe go get, guard. It's probably about it, at least as far as like targeting of, guys of any significance. Maybe you could go get, shore up some depth at running back. Maybe you could go shore up some depth at wide receiver, maybe bring in, I don't even think you need to bring in any competition for Joe Flacco because I don't think they're moving on from Jake Browning just yet, but I don't know. We'll see. So offensively, I'm not really focused on offense when it comes to free agency. We'll talk about that more in the draft and, maybe a few things here and there, but it's all about fixing that defense because the defense is the reason we missed the playoffs. Like straight up, it wasn't Joe Burrow getting hurt. Joe Burrow not getting hurt probably does mean so Joe Burrow's injury probably did lead to directly lead to us missing the playoffs. Because with Joe Burrow, even with our defense, we probably still make the playoffs the way that the season went. But regardless of that, it's still not because of Joe Burrow's injury. Like regardless of Joe Burrow's injury, they would have made the playoffs if the defense had even been like a modicum level of competence. So it's got to be defense this offseason. And for me, I've been shouting it for months. They got to fix that secondary. They got to at least do something with that secondary. Like, I get the pass rush needs to be better. I feel like some of the young guys have kind of been coming along. Losing Trey Hendrickson's going to suck, but you didn't have him for half of this season anyway, and, got some pass rush anyway. The linebackers are questionable at best. I mean, there's not really a defensive position you feel great about, but the secondary has just been so badly ignored. And I think the reason for that is because we expected Cam Taylor-Britt to be the answer. And it does look like DJ Turner's pretty damn good, but it can't be just DJ Turner. You got to have somebody at safety. Right now we got Geno Stone, who's absolute hot dookie garbage. Like, he's just like one of the worst safeties I've seen in a Bengals uniform. Like at least as far as starting safeties go, he's up there among the worst. He's just absolutely useless. Jordan Battle, every once in a while he'll flash potential, but he just has not been developing the way that we needed him to develop. And that's sad because I thought he was going to be the future at one point, but he's clearly has just completely fallen off a cliff. So you got to look away from Jordan Battle as your future as well. So I say all that to say that we've got to address secondary and free agency. Cam Taylor-Britt's probably gone. I personally wouldn't re-sign him unless you're re-signing him for like, a couple $1 million or something to be a backup, but he's not going to take that. And he'd probably, I guarantee you there's some team in the NFL who, views him as worth a shot at being a starting safety. And so they'll pay him enough to give him that chance. I don't think the Bengals are that team because the Bengals basically already gave up on him. I'd personally be looking at a guy like Tariq Woolen. But I also think Tariq Woolen's going to be pretty in demand, so it depends. I think Tariq Woolen's going to be able to kind of go where he wants to go. But I also really like Alontae Taylor. My one concern with Alontae Taylor is guys coming off of injury who we sign in free agency don't tend to work out so well here. So I'm a little hesitant when it comes to Alontae Taylor. He's really, really, really good player. I'm a little bit worried about like him coming here right after he got injured.
I mean, his injury wasn't that bad.
No, I'm not saying it was, but we just have this run of terrible luck going and signing guys who were like coming off an injury, and then like our team doctors are apparently. You want to talk about useless? Our team doctors, as far as like evaluating guys who are coming in, whether they're ready to play or not, I mean, whether the Bengals should sign them to a contract, they're useless because every time we take their advice on a guy who's, like injured and we'll see how he's doing going forward, they're completely out of the water wrong. The only one I think they might have been right on was DJ Reader. Do what?
Doctors being incompetent is the only reason that we have Drew Brees, or we had Drew Brees.
Wonderful. We had the same problem with it was some defensive end. I forget his name now, but he ended up going to Tampa Bay and winning a Super Bowl with Tom Brady. But before he signed with Tampa Bay, the Bengals were basically ready to sign him, and then the doctor was like, "Oh, he's not ready to play," and then he ends up being completely ready to play for Tampa and ends up I think he was all pro that year or something. And I was just sitting here like, we said this guy's not ready to play. Are you serious? So I just, whenever there's like a questionable injury situation, I'm less like ready to jump off the plank for that guy when it comes to and I'm not saying Alontae Taylor is going to be bad. I'm just saying it feels like a potentially cursed scenario when it comes to the Bengals. And if the Bengals signed Alontae Taylor, I wouldn't be upset. The guy's young and really talented, like hard to argue with that. But Tariq Woolen's younger. I'd rather go get Tariq Woolen personally.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, when it comes to us, I mean, I think like our most notable free agents are we already re-signed Julian Blackmon, so we got him back for another year. But guys that we still have to pay, we don't know if Alontae Taylor's gonna be back, like you were talking about. Demario Davis and Cam Jordan, I desperately want them both back, and I think Cam's gonna be back. I don't know. Demario's been talking a lot about free agency, so it's like that Demario Davis leaving is probably going to be the most soul-crushing loss in a free agent pool of my Saints life, because Demario Davis is Mr. Black and Gold. He is literally Sir Saint. Like I know we have a mascot called Sir Saint. Demario Davis is like number 2 Sir Saint. Like losing him would not, especially there's rumors about him going to like the Bears or the Rams. If he does that.
What if he goes to the Bengals?
What
if he goes to the Bengals?
Honestly, if y'all have, I've heard some rumors about him going to the Bengals as well. But if y'all sign him, I won't be as mad as if he goes to the Rams or the Bears or Atlanta or Tampa or the freaking I already said Rams. But also I hate the Chiefs or someone like that. If he signs with the Bengals, I won't be as mad. I'll still be pretty upset that he's not on my team, but I won't be as mad as he signs with the Rams or the Bears or something like that.
So I'll be honest with you. I don't think he's coming to the Bengals, and I don't think I'd want the Bengals to sign him. You want to talk about age? Demario Davis is like my grandfather.
And yet he still had his best season last year.
Yeah, no, he's still a really good player. But the question is, how long is he going to continue to be able to play at that level? I mean, he's already fucking 30. He's going to be 38 next year. For a linebacker, that's insanely old. Logan Wilson they're talking about, like, the Cowboys are talking about, like, cutting Logan Wilson.
They already did.
We just ejected out of here. And, like,
They already cut him.
that dude's like 28 years old.
That's great.
He just fell right off a cliff. Like, you know, I'm not like I feel like Demario Davis, like, very, very, very good player, but like, how much longer?
Another 27 years.
Well, if that's the case, I'd be totally fine with signing him. But like, I don't. The other thing is, like, you said rumors about the Bengals. I just don't think the Bengals aren't going to sign a guy that old. They're just not going to.
I just heard, like, I was looking on the internet, and like Bengals Wire or like some Bengals outlet or whatever said, "Ooh, the Bengals could possibly sign this guy," and that guy ended up being Demario Davis, and I was like,
yeah, a lot of I see stuff like that. It's not. They're not those outlets, like Bengals Wire in particular. Gets on my nerves because, like, they put out these, like, clickbait headlines that's like, you know, Bengals projected to sign this pivotal free agent, and it's not. It's some guy being like, wow, that'd be a good fit, don't you think? And then Bengals Wire reports on that. So see that he's projected to sign. That's what those articles almost always are. And these outlets, they have, like James Rapine is really well inundated with the Bengals, like, you know, as inundated as you can be with the Bengals front office, and he doesn't fucking know what they're gonna do half the time, you know. And he'll put out stuff like that, like Bengals projected to sign this major free agent, but it's always stuff like that. It's clickbait headlines. It's meant to get you to pay attention and to get people talking and get your articles swirling around. But when you actually look at what they're saying, it's like nobody talked to the Bengals, and the and like Katie Blackburn was like, oh yeah, Demario Davis, like, you know, we want to give him $14 million fucking dollars at 38 years old. Like that, like I promise you, like, I'm not, if they did, I'm not saying I would, I don't think I would do it. But if they did, I don't think I'd be like, oh, that's the worst thing the Bengals have ever done, because they've made really bad free agent moves before, and I'm sure he'll, at least for 1 year, he'll be fine. But I do worry about his age. But if I'm worried about his age, I promise you the Bengals are worried about his age, because the Bengals do not invest in old players. They just don't. They don't even invest in their own old play. Look what they did to Andrew Whitworth. They treated him like garbage out the door, and he wasn't even done being elite. He went and won a Super Bowl against us with the Rams.
Yeah. However, there's one guy that the Saints have a pending free agent that I am like 99.9% sure is not going to be back with the team. And unfortunately, that's also Taysom Hill. You know, I knew after week 16, I think, when we played the Jets, you know, when he started crying in the locker room, and like the Saints made sure that Taysom Hill had a great game that week. It's like, yeah, this is setting up for like a going out party for Taysom, which he did deserve, because like a lot of people don't like Taysom because he's not a traditional football player. But like, I love Taysom. Taysom will be a Saints Hall of Famer, if not an NFL Hall of Famer. I don't care what nobody says.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. I don't know how y'all run your Saints Hall of Fame, but NFL, no. Excuse me.
He's the only player in the modern era with the amount of catches, touchdown, or like the amount of what was it, like passing yards. I think he's the only player in the modern era with 10,000 passing, receiving, and rushing yards.
Wonderful. He's a jack of all trades and a master of none. He's a jack of all trades and a master of none, and those guys don't make the Hall of Fame.
Damn it!
When's the last time Taysom Hill made a game-changing play?
Huh?
When's the last time Taysom Hill made a game-changing play?
Like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something.
Exactly. Exactly. That's my point. Like, I'm not saying he's not a good player. I'm saying he's not going to make the Hall of Fame, because, like, I can't even think of a single time. I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I'm saying I can't, as somebody who's, like, you know, like, pays attention to the NFL but isn't constantly, like, looking at what's going on with the Saints. I can't remember a single time that Taysom Hill ever made a game-changing play. I know it's happened. I'm just saying I don't remember it. And that's how people vote when it comes to the Hall of Fame. Like, you have to be memorable. Taysom
play?
Hill's memorable as being a gadget. He's not memorable as being great.
I have a question. All right, when's the last time Larry Fitzgerald made a game-changing play?
He's retired.
Exactly. It's like, what, 6 years ago? They still put him in the Hall of Fame.
It's a little bit, these levels is a little bit different levels here. Like, Larry Fitzgerald and Taysom Hill are not even remotely on the same playing field of talent alone.
No, because look, Taysom Hill, he, in my opinion, and people may call me biased, I don't care. In my opinion,
I'm currently calling you insanely biased because this is one of the most insane takes I've ever heard from you on this show before. That Taysom Hill's a Hall of Famer. Like,
well, look, I'm serious when I say this. Like you can call me biased. I don't care, but like, and I know a lot of other people. Most of them are Saints fans, but I don't care what nobody says. I know a lot of other people who also agree with me. I think he's a Hall of Famer because, like, you have to have Hall of Fame worthy numbers, and that's what he has. 10,000. He has 10,000 yards receiving, throwing, and rushing. Like, what else do you want him to do?
Okay, listen. I want to be absolutely clear. I am not saying. And this is my opinion, but this is not the argument I'm making. I am not currently making the argument, even though I do believe it, that Taysom Hill does not deserve to make the Hall of Fame. I don't think he does by any stretch of the imagination, but that's not my argument, Murr. I'm not arguing that he does not deserve to make the Hall of Fame. I'm saying he won't, because it's not just about whether you deserve it or not. It's about whether people fucking remember you. Nobody's going to remember Taysom Hill. Maybe Saints fans will remember Taysom Hill.
Played in the 80s.
Sean Payton will remember. If Sean Payton is picking the Hall of Fame, he'll pick Taysom Hill.
Dude, okay. So why? Because the Packers, they could have had a Hall of Famer. They could have had the Packers could have had a Hall of Fame quarterback if they kept Taysom Hill.
No, they couldn't.
Yes, they could. But no, they wanted to cut him because they wanted to have Aaron Rodgers do the offense 100% of the time instead of having him do like 60-40 or 70-30. So they could have had a Hall of Fame quarterback if they kept Taysom Hill.
Almost every single play that I can remember, like Taysom Hill running with the Saints, was a play where nothing happened.
Do you now remember 2021 versus the Giants?
I don't know. I don't remember specific plays. Nobody remembers what happened to the Saints in 2021 against the Giants except the Saints fans. You're a Saints fan. Saints fans don't pick the Hall of Fame. That's like me sitting here saying that Trey Hendrickson is going to be a Hall of Famer. But Trey Hendrickson's way more likely to be a Hall of Famer than fucking Taysom Hill. That'd be like me saying that God would be a good. That'd be like me saying AJ McCarron's going to be a Hall of Famer because like he did really good with the Bengals for like on one specific run. Dude,
Taysom Hill literally broke 3 tackles on his way to the end zone against the Giants.
That doesn't get you in the Hall of Fame.
I'm not
Andy Dalton broke 3 tackles one time. He's not going to be in the fucking Hall of Fame.
I'm not saying that play gets into the Hall of Fame. I'm saying, like you said, what is Taysom Hill, like what impressive runs does he have? Well, that's one of them right there. Like Taysom, you want to talk about dual threat? This dude is a triple threat quarterback. Dude can throw the ball, he can run the ball, and he can catch the ball. And we could say he could block good too, because he can throw a couple. He blocked punts before. There's nothing. This man could probably play defense and light somebody up. There's nothing this man can't do.
I should if I had known you were going to come on here and talk about Taysom Hill, being a Hall of Famer, I should have just named the episode that and then done all of the marketing and everything based off of that. Because we'd be getting thousands of people coming and watching this video and mostly telling you how stupid you are. But that you want to talk about interesting topics, that would blow up because people be like, let's come watch the dumb guy say that Taysom Hill should be a Hall of Famer.
I'm dead serious. Hey, if it makes you feel better, I don't think Tyrann Mathieu is making the Hall of Fame. No, that makes you feel better.
No, that doesn't, because I think Tyrann Mathieu has a better case of the Hall of Fame than Taysom Hill does. And Tyrann Mathieu, I don't think is going to get in the Hall of Fame either. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I think he's got a better case. And I'm not saying that. Okay, I'm not saying I would vote for Honey Badger over Taysom Hill. If I was doing the voting, I still wouldn't vote for Taysom Hill. But it's not about my opinion. It's not about your opinion. It's about the opinion of the NFL Hall of Fame voters.
Well, look, Taysom Hill, will he be a first ballot? Probably not. Will he be second ballot? Probably not. Maybe not even third ballot. But I think
he won't be any ballot.
Years down the line, Taysom Hill will be Hall of Famer. He should be.
If Ken Anderson isn't in the Hall of Fame now, Taysom Hill will never be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, then the Hall of Fame system is stupid as hell.
You can make that. That is a more valid argument than Taysom Hill. Than you projecting him to be. You saying he should be a Hall of Fame. You're allowed to say that. We can argue that. I will argue against that. But you're allowed to argue that. I'm not saying you're crazy for having an opinion like that. That I disagree with, but you're allowed to have your opinion. But for you to be projecting that it's going to happen, that's where it becomes crazy.
Well, it should happen because this man literally has 30,000 combined yards. The man has more combined yards than Jerry Rice has receiving yards, dude. Like, what the fudge we talking about?
How many wins do the Saints have with all of those yards that Taysom Hill has?
Okay, we made the playoffs a few years that he did that. Don't give me that bull crap. Like, this man swept the Falcons as our starting quarterback in 2020. When Drew Brees got injured with his punctured lungs, Taysom Hill played Atlanta twice in those 3 games, and he whooped their ass both times. So Taysom Hill will always be a Saints Hall of Famer, most definitely, and then
I'm sure Taysom Hill will get into the Saints have a Hall of Fame like we call ours the Ring of Honor. I feel like most teams call it the Ring of Honor, but
no, we have a Hall of Fame. But we put Tracy Porter in the Hall of Fame for 2 good plays, man. We can put Taysom in there.
Okay, but again, I want to emphasize that when it comes to the Hall of Fame, when it comes to putting guys in, like whether or not this should be the case or not, because like this is why Joe Namath is in the Hall of Fame. This is why Terry Bradshaw is in the Hall of Fame. But the Hall of Fame is about fame. It's not necessarily about being great. It's not called the Hall of Greatness. It's called the Hall of Fame. It's the guys who are like, the guys who like you think back and you're like, wow, you can't tell the NFL story without those guys. You can tell the story of the NFL without Taysom Hill.
No, you can't.
What do you mean you can't? What has Taysom Hill ever done that has affected NFL history?
When is the last time you saw a starting quarterback be a starting wide receiver, starting tight end, and starting running back at the same damn time?
What did that change as far as the NFL goes? What did Taysom Hill do that impacted the NFL in any way, shape, or form, other than being some like weird anomaly that happened?
He started that movement. After that happened, you saw Trey Lance start running the ball when he wasn't the starter. Justin Fields got in as the backup running the ball. Like, freaking Lamar Jackson, like, that was even before Lamar Jackson did what he did in Baltimore.
No. You are not going to use Taysom Hill as the progenitor to Lamar Jackson. That is not correct. That's incorrect.
Started that movement.
No, he didn't. Michael Vick started that movement.
What?
Michael Vick started whatever Lamar Jackson is.
No, Michael Vick was a starting
Randall Cunningham did, technically.
No, they were starting quarterbacks. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Taysom Hill. Like, now you're seeing backup
Lamar Jackson's a start. You can't bring up Lamar Jackson then.
He was the backup his rookie year.
He was. They drafted him in the first round. He was going to be the backup.
Kyle, this is what I'm saying. Taysom Hill started that movement where now you see backup quarterbacks almost every single day that, like, they be running the ball if it's, like, a perfect – like, you should remember, like, last year, like, a couple years ago, the Steelers played the Bengals. Justin Fields –
what you're saying now.
For first down. So what do you mean that does not change the landscape?
That's a play. It's a single play. It's a single play that has never changed the trajectory of NFL history.
It did. It changed how quarterbacks are looked at. Because now,
it changed what? So, Josh Allen being a tank, Lamar Jackson being the reincarnation of Michael Vick, without the whole thing with the dogs. Michael Vick doing his thing before the thing with the dogs, that changed how quarterbacks are looked at. Randall Cunningham changed how quarterbacks are looked at. Taysom Hill changed how fullbacks are looked at. And he's not even a fullback.
They were starting quarterbacks, Kyle. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, Michael Vick and Randall Cunningham, they started the mobile quarterback trajectory. I'm not arguing that. But what I'm arguing is Taysom Hill started the movement where backup quarterbacks are more used today than they were back then. Back then, a backup quarterback only came in if the quarterback got hurt or sucked. Now they come in to run the ball.
No, that barely, not that often.
Yes, Justin Fields did it a lot. Trey Lance did it a lot before he was the starter.
Define a lot. It's not that often. It's like it's a gadget play that gets thrown in every great once in a while.
Exactly, a gadget play that Taysom Hill created.
That doesn't get you in the Hall of Fame.
It should, because you created a play. But nobody.
If everybody who ever created a play was in the Hall of Fame, you wouldn't be able to name any of them because there'd be too many. You know how many plays there are in the NFL?
Yeah, maybe they should be in the Hall of Fame, man. Look.
You know what? How about this? We'll put in the NFL. We'll put like a through the years history edition of the NFL, where it's like an encyclopedic textbook of everything that's ever happened in NFL history, and we can put Taysom Hill in there.
He's still a Hall of Famer.
Also, he's on Wikipedia, so that works just as well.
He's still a Hall of Famer. I don't care what nobody says, personally.
Okay. So anyway, free agents. Which I guess Taysom Hill is going to be a Denver Bronco next year.
Yeah, probably.
I really want to. I think the Bengals are going to put a premium as far as internal free agents. I think they're going to put a premium on Joseph Osai because, like, I think they want to pay an edge rusher. And it's not going to be Trey Hendrickson. Like, if it was ever going to be Trey Hendrickson, it would have already happened. Now, I think there's just too much bad blood there. And frankly, Trey Hendrickson's too old to the point where I think those two parties are going to come to an agreement. There has been talk about the Bengals potentially doing a tag and trade type of thing, which would be a good idea. But I just don't see the Bengals doing it. It's not something the Bengals do. Like, I've heard a lot of Bengals, like people within the Bengals sphere, like talking about, oh yeah, you might see the Bengals do a tag and trade. Like, really? You will? When? Yeah, like the other time they did that ever. That's not a Bengals move, guys. Like, this is not going to do that. Like, I don't know. But I would like to see Joseph Osai resign. As far as the, I mean, if we're looking at like the most valuable upcoming free agents, I want almost all of them gone. Okay, let me rephrase. I don't necessarily want Trey Hendrickson gone, but like I kind of expect him to be gone, and I'm kind of like I'm kind of ready for the drama to be over. So like it's not like Trey Hendrickson really did a whole lot for us last year anyway. So like I'm not saying I want him gone. I'm just saying like if he's gonna be gone, I'm not gonna be that upset.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to be more upset about the loss of potential, but I've been upset about the loss of potential with Trey Hendrickson for the last couple of years, frankly. I do want to see them re-sign Joseph Osai, but the next guys on this list are Cam Taylor-Britt and Geno Stone. I ship them off on the first fucking train. Now, they shouldn't have even been like brought back from wherever our last road game was. They should have just been left there. Like, figure out your own way home, motherfuckers.
Yeah, sure.
Next on the list, Joe Flacco. I think we should bring him back. Next on the list is Noah Fant, and I mean, you can bring him back cheap again, then maybe, but I don't even know if it's even really worth bringing Noah Fant back because like he didn't do. I mean, he was good here and there, but he didn't do a whole lot, and he's talented. So I don't know. I could take or leave Noah Fant. Dalton Reisner, it'd be good to see them bring him back just because he is getting a little bit older, but he was a good spot starter when he was there. He dealt with injuries and stuff like that, but we'll see with Dalton Reisner. I'd like to see them bring Dalton Reisner back, though, and I know a lot of Bengals fans would as well. And then you're getting into Cam Sample, Tyson Anderson, Cordell Volson, Lucas Patrick, Jake Browning, Brian Asamoah. I'm not even entirely sure who that is. So, and then Marco Wilson. So just a bunch of guys who like these are all back of the roster guys who aren't going to make a play in the regular season anyway. So, Lucas Patrick would have a chance, but I think Lucas Patrick's time is done.
Is this Marco Wilson from Florida?
I don't know where he went to college, but probably not. He's like a back at the roster cornerback for the Bengals. He's from Florida. Like he was born in Fort Lauderdale.
Like was his college Florida?
Oh yes, yeah. Apparently yes.
Okay, so it is that same Marco Wilson. Okay, screw you, Marco Wilson.
What did Marco Wilson do?
He threw.
Oh wait, I see this. As a senior, he had a notable incident involving throwing an opposing player's shoe in a celebratory manner late during a game played in December 12th, 2020 against the LSU Tigers.
Why you do that?
That's funny, first of all. And why are you mad at it? It gave LSU a first down, and y'all won by a field goal. So why are you that mad at Marco Wilson? Like he did a dumb thing that arguably maybe gave LSU a win, and it was funny.
Yeah, I know. The reason I just said that is because why throw the man's shoe like that, though?
I don't know. But what I can tell you is that he's another guy who I could take or leave. He's a pretty decent guy to have at corner for being like the sixth guy on the roster. I wouldn't want to start him, but as a guy who's like a backup, the last backup on the roster, he's pretty solid.
Marco Wilson could have 20 career pick sixes and have 5 Super Bowl rings and make the Hall of Fame and be labeled as the number one quarterback of all time. And I will still only remember him for the shoe incident.
I've never even heard of that.
Why did you not hear of the shoe?
Because I don't pay any attention. I don't pay much attention to college football, but I really don't pay any attention to Florida.
You should have at least learned about the shoe because they were talking about that a lot during the pre-draft process.
I didn't pay attention to Marco Wilson in the pre-draft process. He got drafted by the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even know who Marco Wilson was that year. I don't remember scouting him at all. What?
The only reason I knew who he was is because he wanted to throw a shoe.
Okay, but I just didn't hear about that.
Dude can make the Hall of Fame, and I'll still call him Shoe Boy.
Okay, that's I will say I just now learning this about Marco Wilson, who to me has been, mostly just one of the least notable Bengals. He's a guy who's always there, but he's just so unnotable. I barely, barely register that he's even a person who exists half the time, but he's been on the Bengals for the last 3 years. So to me, he's just this completely and totally unnotable human being. And you're over here he's the shoe guy.
Yeah, he's a shoe guy.
So, I mean, that's really funny. That's really funny. And it does appear to be true that he did do that. But I've never heard of this story about Marco Wilson before.
And we won that game too. That's what made it so funny.
Yeah, well, it looks like you guys won that game, and it could be made. The argument could be made that play was a pivotal turning point in you guys winning that game.
I don't know if you know this, but the play that happened, it was about to be 4th down. LSU was literally sending the punt team out.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
The damn shoe, and then it's bet punting team, you get back on that damn side.
Right, that's what I'm reading here, and then LSU went on to kick a field goal later in that drive, and y'all won by 3 points. So that play quite literally ended up being a play that gave LSU the win. Now, obviously, they're if y'all scored 37 points in the first place, their defense wasn't playing that well that day. So there's probably dozens of other plays that happened over the course of that game that could probably be pointed to and be that's the reason we lost. But this does appear to be one of them.
But it was so weird because everybody thought Florida was going to kick our ass that day. And then it was like, nope.
I didn't.
Well,
I didn't think that Florida was going to kick LSU's ass that day.
LSU, man,
Probably didn't even know that LSU and Florida were playing.
LSU was bad that year, man. Like the 2 years after Joe Burrow, man, we were bad. Like we were.
I do kind of remember that.
We were sorry.
And you know what? Now that you mention it, I feel like I remember you like you coming in and bragging about beating Florida at some point that year. So I wonder if that was the same game.
No, because that was like 2020, and I don't think I knew who you were back then. So.
Oh, 20. Okay, never mind. I was looking at the wrong season. Yeah. I wasn't. I don't think I was doing. I wasn't doing YouTube yet. I didn't start doing YouTube until.
I told you about like beating Florida one time, but I don't know. I don't think it was that time.
Yeah, no, I was thinking this was the. I was thinking this was the 21 season, but I read the stuff wrong.
Even in 2021, I didn't know. I wasn't watching you.
In 20. No, you were. Good.
No, I started in 22.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought I remember you being there that first season.
Because I remember the Saints played the Bengals in 2022, and that's what made me find you.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay. Let's see, in 20, I was I was out of my mind busy as fuck because I was working at FedEx, and like whereas like COVID really kind of like killed a lot of like economy, like a lot of businesses were like, you know, like suffering because of like lack of economic whatever. In the delivery business, we were booming, and I was out of my mind. That's part of why I started this podcast, was because I was feeling so like drained by spending all of my time just delivering packages at FedEx, and I started listening to podcasts a lot, and guys like Zach Schomler and Tom Grossi inspired me to start my own podcast.
That's nice.
Now, I don't know when Florida and LSU played that year, so it may or may not have been around the same time, but
like it's weird. Like I think we've beaten Florida. Like I think every year except for 1 year, which was 2 seasons ago now. But every other year after that, like before that and after that, we beat Florida. Like I've only watched Florida beat us one time. That was the year that we were supposed to kick their ass, but Gary Nussmeier decided to throw the ball like he had a crap in his pants or something. I don't freaking know.
I know.
And Brian Kelly got his job too, so that didn't absolutely not help.
I know two things about Florida. One, that they beat Ohio State in the championship of both sports, of both basketball and football, in like the same year, I think it was. And I thought that was really fun. Huh?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, when I was in high school, they did that, and I thought it was really funny. And that was when Urban Meyer was coaching Florida too, and then he went on to be Ohio State's head coach.
Oh, I think I remember that now. Yeah.
But the other thing I know about Florida is that when I was, I want to say 15, they beat Kentucky 62-7. And I was at the time dating a Florida fan, and I was talking all sorts of trash with her family. I'm like, y'all don't know, we're gonna come for you this time. And I had to sit there and watch Kentucky lose 62-7 with her fucking family, and I was just like, I hate everything about my life right now.
Well, that should teach you a lesson.
That was the worst. Do what?
Never talk trash if you're a Kentucky fan. Because no offense, Kyle, but like you got the SEC teams and then you got Kentucky.
Sir, I was 15 years old. Okay.
So hey, at least they talked to you early on. You got the SEC teams, the Alabamas, the Georgias, the LSU's, the Ohio State. Well, no, Ohio State's not in the SEC, but you got the top teams, and then you got Kentucky.
I'm very aware that Kentucky is like only an SEC team in name. They're a team in name only. They're not. They don't compete at the level of the SEC. They're like Vanderbilt.
Half the time I forget they all in the SEC. And hey, Vanderbilt's pretty good at football now, so that's
well, right now. But I mean, Kentucky's not bad right now. Like they're kind of coming up a little bit, but not. You know, they're still not really super competitive with the rest of the SEC, so it doesn't really matter that much. But hey, we won a national championship in 1950.
And you want to know something else about 1950?
What?
World War II, I don't even think happened yet.
What grade did you get in history, Mikey?
I don't remember.
World War One ended in 1945.
Exactly, World War One.
Huh?
I said World War II didn't even happen yet.
Okay. Maybe I misspoke. I'm almost 100% sure I just said World War II. World War II ended in 1945.
Okay. Well, first of all, you said World War One. First of all, and second of all,
positive I said two, but maybe I misspoke.
And second of all, okay, if it did, what's your point? That's only 5 years removed from World War II.
Well, I don't have a point. I was just like, what do you mean, like 19? You were like in 1950. That was before World War II even happened. I'm like, hold on a minute.
Well, I mean,
it's not before World War II. It was decidedly after World War II.
I don't even take history class no more, so I can't even tell you.
I have a degree in history because I am a really good decision maker.
Is that why you're a Bengals fan?
I did not make the decision to be a Bengals fan, okay?
Legally did.
Regardless of my immaculate decision-making skills, the being a Bengals fan part is not... I mean, I guess I have made the decision several times to continue being a Bengals fan. Like, I've had to make that active decision several times because I've really wanted to stop many, many times. But,
exactly.
I'm not going to do that because... I mean, the main reason is just like, who would I even go root for? I mean, I could root for the Chiefs, and it just like, oh, cool, the Chiefs won. I kind of expected that to happen. That's why I picked them. Yeah, that wouldn't be interesting at all. I might as well either be a Bengals fan or no fan at all. Like there's no point in being a fan if it's not of the team that I've been a fan of this whole time.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand bandwagon fans. Like, how can you wake up one morning and be like, "Hey, let's go Chiefs," and the next morning you're like, "Let's go Broncos, come on!" And then next day you're like, "Let's go the Texans" or someone. Like,
I think it's for a lot of people. I think it's like a status thing. I think they like being associated with a winner, and if the bandwagon fans tend to also not really be like really deep fans of the sport. Like, you don't really see bandwagon fans who are also like really big hardcore football fans. Sometimes they're very loud, but they're usually not like if you really pry into them, they're not the guys who like they stick with the NFL and like they can talk to, like, you know, like we couldn't bring a bandwagon fan on the podcast and they'd really have a lot to say because they don't really pay enough attention because they're not invested in it, because like all they really like a bandwagon fans usually either looking for status or they're just looking for excitement. They're not looking for, you know, personal investment.
good for them.
That's my assessment. I don't know too many actual bandwagon fans. I've talked to plenty on the internet, but I don't personally know too many.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, I know a few people who are genuinely, and I mean, perhaps they bandwagoned when they were like 5 or something like that, but they stuck with them. But I know people who were I know one guy who is very naturally, like, he grew up this way. He picked this and he's stuck with it ever since. A Lakers fan and a Cowboys fan and a Yankees fan. How you could possibly be a fan of those three teams naturally is beyond me. And I don't know if it's entirely natural. He probably didn't pick those teams because he's like got a historic connection to those areas or anything like that. But I think he probably bandwagoned when he was like 4 or 5 and just stuck with those teams ever since. And I got to say, if you're still a Cowboy, like there aren't too many bandwagon Cowboys fans left at this point because they've been so useless for, you know, for decades at this point. Like, I mean, there are, because like they're very like they're still very well marketed team. Cowboys apparel is all over the place, but they just haven't really had the kind of success that a lot of people are currently bandwagoning to them to try to be like, oh, I'm going to hitch my ride to the Cowboys wagon, because that it's just not an NFL team that is really worth doing that with at this point.
Yeah. I know a Saints fan that bandwagoned to the Cowboys like years ago, and yet he's still a Cowboys fan. And now he talks trash about the Saints any chance he get. And then that's why when we put a 40 on their head top 2 seasons ago, it was so funny. Like, I'm telling, like, he went to the game too with my other buddy in Jono, and man, seeing his face, he didn't even want to talk for like the rest of his life. I still barely see him now.
I remember in like the like when during the Carson Palmer era for the Bengals, there was this one Bengals fan who and this was the early days of the internet, so going viral is what it is. But there was a Bengals fan who more or less went viral at a time when going viral wasn't even really a thing. Because he was so fed up with the Bengals that he decided he was going to actively bandwagon to another team, and he put his fandom up for auction on eBay. And guess who put in the highest bid, Mikey?
Steelers?
Yeah, it was the Steelers. So I don't know what became of that guy. I hope he suffered.
Did he actually start rooting for the Steelers?
To the best of my knowledge, I don't know if he stopped at any point, but to the best of my knowledge, he stuck with it for at least a little bit, as long as people were still paying attention to him. But I don't even know who it was at this point. So that was years ago.
That's nice.
I think it was Wildman Walker, but I feel like there was like a Cincinnati like a local small scale local celebrity who did something like that too, but they didn't end up sticking with it. They just auctioned off their fandom, I think, to make a point. But I don't think they really stuck with it. I don't know. Man, we're doing a real good job talking about free agents, aren't we?
Yeah. Who would have thought a show about free agents would have us talking about Taysom Hill Hall of Fame, Marco Wilson throwing a shoe, and people selling their fandom on eBay?
Well, Taysom Hill and Marco Wilson are both free agents.
That is true, I guess. Yeah. Man, I can't believe somebody's going to be signing a Hall of Famer this offseason.
Yeah. You know what? I haven't even looked at the comments yet. We've been going for a little bit now. Feel bad. Happy Saturday from Daniel Berry. Your Aints are a joke, but the entire division has been since the 2023 season. Well, the NFC South is definitely a joke. I think we can.
No,
I think we can.
You are wrong.
Okay, apparently we can't all agree with that.
No, you're wrong. I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
We were a joke since the 2022 season, not the 23 season. If you're gonna accuse us correctly.
The Saints or the NFC South?
The NFC South.
Okay.
If you're gonna accuse us correctly.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say was I don't always agree with Jim, but I do agree with Jim about the NFC South at the very least, and the Saints being a joke. I mean, they kind of are at this point, but I will say like most of the talk around the Saints right now, at least nationally, is about Tyler Shuck. So I wouldn't say the Saints right now are viewed as a joke. They're more so viewed as a team with a bright future.
Tyler Shuck just had a kid, so you know what that means, right?
He is not going to get any sleep for the next 3 months.
Well, that too, but also now he's got some mouths to feed. So you know what that means? He's gonna
stress so bad that he forgets how to play football.
No, because now he has mouths to feed. So now he has to ball out so he can get that super mega contract in about 3 years, and then boom.
I'm just gonna stab a guess here, I'm going to say there have been a lot of people who have like flamed out in the NFL who have performed poorly, who also had kids.
Well, were their names Tyler Shuck?
No, they weren't actually. That's a good point. None of them had the name Tyler Shuck. Now, I'm also not entirely sure what that has to do with anything, but you are correct about that.
And did they name their kid Grayson Shuck?
Well, I already said they weren't already named Tyler Shuck, so.
Okay. Tyler Shuck is the man of his own. He is the man, the myth, the legend. He will put bread on toast. He will put the Saints in the Super Bowl. He'll put money on top of coins. He will do anything.
I agree. Tyler Shuck will put the Saints in the Super Bowl, where they will lose to the Bengals.
No, they won't. If anything, y'all going to be getting toasted, toaster.
Wrong.
Saints, Bengals, Super Bowl, no Super Bowl. I think you know where this is going.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. And I said it after we lost to the Rams, but honestly, if we did if you were correct about the Bengals and Saints making the Super Bowl in 2028 and then the Saints winning, I would take that. Because
you can take your Super Bowl appearance and I'll take the victory.
Well, okay, now if I have a choice, I'm going to take a Super Bowl victory, but
no.
I'm just saying I wouldn't be upset about getting to the Super Bowl again, even if we lose. And yeah, we'd have to deal with, you guys are 0-4 in Super Bowls and we blah 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 blah. But I don't really fucking care. I just want to see my team play football, and I get to see that more often when we go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I guess you could.
Yeah.
Damn.
But it doesn't matter because we're gonna win it anyway.
No, you're not.
Yeah, we are.
Saints, Bengals, Super Bowl win for the Saints. No Super Bowl win for the Bengals.
Well, look here. I made a chart about the reason why the Bengals are going to win the Super Bowl here. So let me.
I have 3 reasons why. First, these are my 3 reasons why Saints win Super Bowl in 2028. 1, I said so. 2, the no call happened in the 2018 season. 10 years from that will be 2028. 3rd reason.
What does that mean?
It means the NFL.
What does 10 years have to do with anything? You're not connecting something. You're just stating a fact.
It'll be the 10-year anniversary, which means the NFL is going to try to pay. Is going to basically try to pay is going to basically try to make it up to us by giving us.
Why does the 10-year anniversary of in next year is also going to be the 10-year anniversary of the Bengals having a uninspiring season? The Bengals are the NFL is going to honor that by making sure they win the Super Bowl that year because of that.
But there's also a 3rd reason that you're leaving out.
No, you know what it was? It's the 10-year anniversary of the Bengals giving Ryan Fitzpatrick a career. So there you go.
Well, I think he had a career before y'all, but you know what?
Basically giving him. So before he came to the Bengals, Ryan Fitzpatrick was a nobody on the Rams. And then he came to the Bengals where he was also a nobody, but Carson Palmer got hurt and Ryan Fitzpatrick came in and became Crazy Legs Fitzpatrick, where he ran around a lot, and the Bengals were bad, but Ryan Fitzpatrick looked good. So he ended up going from there and getting a contract with the Jets, I want to say. I can't remember if it was the Jets, but point being, his next stop was where he became like the Bengals are where he got his opportunity to get on the stage, and then his next stop was where he kind of became Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Ryan Fitzpatrick went to Harvard. Okay, next thing. My next reason to the Saints winning Super Bowl in 2028 is that year the Super Bowl will be in Atlanta. The Super Bowl will be in Atlanta. And guess what? The Super Bowl in 2018 was also in Atlanta. Therefore, 10 years, same Super Bowl, same bogus no call.
You don't get to be as cool as the Seahawks.
What does that got to do with anything?
Because they won a Super Bowl in their rival stadium.
And damn it, we should have did it too, because I guarantee we would have beat the Patriots' ass.
Yeah. If only you didn't throw an interception in overtime.
If only the Bengals weren't 0-3 in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that'd be great. I also agree that I wish the Bengals wouldn't have done that.
If only Joe Burrow did not throw the ball to the ground so many times in that Super Bowl against the Rams.
I agree. I completely agree.
If only Eli Apple did not turn into burnt toast against Cooper Cup in the Super Bowl.
Well, here's the thing. I agree with that too. I will say I don't think the most significant throwing the ball to the ground that Joe Burrow did was because his offensive line was complete and utter hot garbage. But that's still like, the Bengals' fault.
If only Logan Wilson did not blatantly commit pass interference.
Well, he didn't. And I never said the no call was blatant and obvious either.
Yes.
So you can't bring that one up. Huh?
It was blatant.
No, I mean, like, I'm not saying it was correct.
Damn, I agree.
So that you can't connect it with the Logan Wilson thing. Like that's not
I can do what I want with my mouth.
Well, I mean, you can. It makes no sense.
Whatever comes out of my mouth is the words that will be spoken.
That is accurate. You certainly are saying words. I agree.
The words might not make sense to the other people, but to me, it makes all the sense.
Right now, you're making the most sense you've made on the entire podcast. This whole time right now, you're prophetic right now. All right, just keep going like this. All right, don't slip back into any like Drew Brees nonsense or Taysom Hill nonsense.
Taysom Hill is still a Hall of Famer.
Okay,
damn
you ruined it. You ruined it. It's over.
Hey, Drew Brees is an actual Hall of Famer now, so nobody can say he's not.
I don't think he is.
So you're just blind, arrogant, stupid,
idiot.
No.
I think it's fake. He's
literally in the Hall of Fame as we speak.
No, he's not though. It's like the moon landing.
What did they film in Coretta Scott's basement?
No, I'm sure that basement probably doesn't even exist anymore. First of all.
So you're just saying that the Hall of Fame, like, is there
I'm
anybody?
Sure they filmed at the Hall of Fame.
Wait, do you actually think the moon landing is not real?
According to the train of thought I'm currently on, yes.
So what? There's no wind on the moon, and the flag's still blowing like these. So what?
Actually, I guess I'm not even technically saying that the moon landing was fake. What I'm saying is I'm connecting that conspiracy theory with the way I'm trying to illustrate why Drew Brees is not actually in the Hall of Fame.
But he is, though.
But he's not. Like,
it's funny.
It's funny and it's kind of sad that you're enough of a sheep to believe that. But
why? Because I'm white. Because I'm white. That makes me a sheep.
I would be curious, actually. It's kind of hard to tell because we have different lighting. But if I ever do end up coming down to New Orleans, which I will at some point, I don't know. But I got to figure out who's whiter.
That's racist.
No, I'm just literally just talking about pigment at that point. Like who's I'm basically fucking translucent. Like I don't even think I could have lighting that doesn't make that obvious, but like your lighting's a little bit warmer, so I can't quite tell if you're like you can. I think you might even just be able to see the blue there. I'm that fucking white.
My knee is red.
Is it irritated?
No, it's sunburned because I went to a college baseball game today and the sun was not friendly.
Yeah, that probably would happen to me too if I went. Now, it wouldn't because, for you live in Louisiana, so I don't know what the temperature is there right now. But like, if I tried to go anywhere right now in shorts, I'd be a fucking madman.
It's just like how the people in the north is like they're used to the snow and they're used to the cold. Well, we're used to the heat and we're used to burning ourselves every single time.
What is the temperature right now for you outside?
I don't know. Let me see. It says 70 degrees. 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Yep, that's what it says. Yep.
It's 30 here.
Exactly. You see, y'all are used to the cold, and we are used to burning ourselves, even when we're inside. Bro, my entire family gets sunburned even from being inside.
Well, no, I do too. I'm talking about temperature. I'm saying I wouldn't be going around in shorts to get my like I'm pretty white. I get sunburned in a lot of scenarios, but I don't typically get sunburned when I have jeans on. Like my legs, the UV radiation typically does not penetrate the denim well enough to burn my knees. That's all I was saying. But I'm also I wouldn't be shocked if that happened at some point.
That's nice.
It's not. It's a pain in the ass.
You get used to it. I mean, I took 2 showers today, which is probably a world record for me. So.
I'll get used to it. I'm like twice your age. So like if I'm not already used to it, what do you mean I'm like I am used to it actually. But so I'm not going to get used to it. I'm already
I don't believe in parents.
So like if I wasn't, what do you mean I'll get used to it? What experience are you speaking from?
I don't believe in experience, I don't believe in age, and I don't believe in parents.
Well, you're wrong on all of those.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Decidedly. I think I can empirically prove all 3 of those things.
No, you can't.
Well, I mean, like so am I not real? Like, I'm a parent.
No, I believe in people. I just don't believe in the parents.
But I'm a parent.
Yeah, I believe in you. I just don't believe that you're a parent.
You've seen my son.
I don't believe that.
On the show. Several times.
Wait, you have a show?
Okay, so anyway, I think we're off the rails here at this point. It's like 11:30, and Mikey is making me have a migraine. So we're gonna go ahead and get off here, unless you have something else you want to say about free agents.
I love turtles. All right, we're good now.
I think the Bengals would be better off if they employed a turtle on defense than what they currently have.
Yeah, and I love Steve.
The Minecraft guy?
No, Stranger Things, okay?
I don't. You got to stop referencing Stranger Things and expecting me to get it.
I'm not expecting you to get it. I'm expecting nothing.
But you seem thrown off every time that I don't get it.
Well, maybe you should watch it.
Bye, everybody. Who Dey?
Who Dat?